Cool.
All right, here we are, another episode of Let There Be Talk. This is episode number 801 today on the May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. Perfect guest to have.
Yeah. Wahoo!
Look
Cinco
who's
de
here.
Mayo.
Now, my guest today is Jose Rios, and I'm about to tell one of the fucking funniest stories of the entire history of the podcast. This right here is a
Yeah.
pic that I found on a hiking trail up behind the Greek Theater 2 days ago. I'm just hiking. Now,
Yeah.
listen, I've found music in my lifetime. I'm 59. I found it by hanging out in record stores. I found it from word of mouth. I found it from,
Mm.
coffee shops. I've found it from Shazam, every way, but never have I picked a pickup off the ground in a
Yeah.
mountain and then Googled the band and then listened to the band and be fucking blown away. And then on top of that, I'm at the Comedy Store 2 nights ago doing a set, and your keyboard player was sitting in on my set.
Yeah.
So the whole fucking thing is loony and
Mhm.
spiritual. And I,
Yes.
I believe in this shit because, first of
So
all, the
so do I.
free radicals I had never heard of. And I
Free
listened to
free
this
free nationals. Free
free, sorry,
nationals.
yeah, yeah, free radicals.
Yeah, I mean we are kind of radical too.
Right. The free nationals are definitely a genre, a style of music that I listen to beyond, going all the way back to when I was young and into Curtis Mayfield,
Yeah.
Lakeside, Earth, Wind, and Fire. And then it goes on and on and on, all the way up to modern day stuff, say of Chicano Batman, which I just heard they broke up. I
Oh
don't know.
shit.
I don't know if that's real, but then of course Macy Gray, Prince, of course, and then like D'Angelo and
Mm.
Maxwell, and all of this has always been on my radar. And
Yeah.
big fan of Sade, of course. I mean, I could go on and on and on. But welcome to the show. That's the longest intro ever.
That was a nice one, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Now let's get into it because I dive into it right away, and
Okay.
then I see you have the Free Nationals, but
Right.
then it's Anderson Paak, and then also you produce all kinds of stuff, and you
Hmm.
tour with all kinds of different situations. Let's get into it.
Yep. Yep. Okay. So yeah, basically, I'm in a group called the Free Nationals. That's my band. It consists of Callum Connor, T Nava. We have Kelsey Gonzalez, and I'm Jose Rios. Anderson Paak is also a Free National as well, but obviously he's a entity on his own as well. Anderson Paak. We've been playing together for many years, man. I started with Anderson in the trenches out in Los Angeles. We were playing in clubs and bars and restaurants and backyard parties and churches and you name it. You might have seen us. We were running around town playing for peanuts, and that's how we started, man. He would go under the name Breezy Lovejoy at the time. It was the Breezy Lovejoy band, and then that transferred into he changing his name to Anderson. And when the Anderson name change happened, I made a decision that we needed to have a band name, and Free Nationals I thought was fitting. Yeah, at the time.
Now, how old are you?
I'm 39 years old.
So 39. You're playing. Where are you playing? Like places like the Mint and stuff like that.
That came a little later, but in the very beginning, man, we were playing literal shit dive bars, man. Like little hole in the wall, nothing, restaurants, in the corner of a restaurant, if an owner liked us, they thought we were cool because we were playing like all the bands you basically named earlier, we were playing covers of that shit. So we were a cover band at first.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, we're a cover band.
And you were you always into R&B and soul and that kind of neo fusion stuff, or were you into rock at any point? Or of course, there's a heavy hip hop flavor in it, which I absolutely love. What was your background on guitar?
Yeah, so no, I listen to everything. But when I started, the reason I started playing guitar, which is funny because today I went to a record store in Memphis. I'm in Memphis, Tennessee currently, and I found Soul to Soul by Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble,
Oh, great.
and that's the reason I started playing guitar because of Stevie Ray, and I first heard it play, and then I did my homework into the blues, and I found BB King and Albert King and Muddy Waters, and obviously Jimi Hendrix, and I went further and further and further and started really digging into the blues, and yeah, I that's what got me into guitar. And then that went from the blues, and I was like, okay, so what did the blues create? And I was like, okay, well, it created rock and roll. So Zeppelin and and people like that, Eric Clapton's and all these different cats that were coming out from England and stuff like that. Um, and then I went into from the rock music, there was obviously R&B, hip hop, all of that came from the blues. Blues kind of was like gospel, obviously the church, blues, and then you kind of start to fan out into these different genres that came out of that. So rock was a big influence, hip hop, R&B, soul, jazz. Jazz also came from the blues, and it's like more sophisticated type of music. And yeah, man, I listen to it all, man. I like Tool, Metallica, all that kind of shit, man. Like like you said, I listen to Erica Badu, Thundercat, I'm Coltrane and Wes Montgomery, to Django Reinhardt, just I'm all over the place, man. If it's good and it's soulful and it's funky and it feels right, I'm gonna listen to it.
It's
Yeah.
really it's interesting to think about the landscape of hip hop. Hip hop to me is one of the greatest uh, things ever to happen to music. But also, what happened to hip hop was it kind of eroded away multicultural bands in a Sly Stones type of way of people playing instruments because the sampling generation came in.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
So when you see somebody like you or Chicano Batman, it's very, very fucking rare to see live music, different races playing instruments that isn't like, say, rock and roll, like an Earth, Wind, and Fire. Those guys all played. When you
yeah,
see Earth, Wind, and Fire, you go, those guys are playing the
yeah,
music,
yeah,
So it's so great when I see it because I'm like, oh God, this is so amazing. Like just the live
yeah.
music behind hip hop, I think is the best.
Yeah, yeah, and obviously the legendary Roots crew from Philly. Those guys are a big inspiration to us. We've had the pleasure of meeting them, and we played Fallon, and we've done festivals with them. Oh shit, did we get cut off there? Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, yeah, we've had the pleasure of meeting them, playing festivals with them, and we've we've also done like they're a huge influence. So the Roots crew is a good example of that. But yeah, man, I mean, like honestly, like you said, there's a time where sampling is just easier to do, just you can do it at home, chop it up, and make incredible beats and imagine songs from yesterday, from earlier. But yeah, there no, definitely within the last, I don't know, 10 years maybe, maybe more, I've seen like a resurgence from younger musicians and artists to play to, I'm seeing people are like is really young cats that are playing music. They're shedding on drums or playing guitars and basses and really technical, really intelligent playing and it's impressive, man. And they did their homework. They're studying the greats and taking it and creating their own sound.
At what point from doing the covers do you guys start to say, "Hey, let's start writing our own music and going that route?" Because then it's almost like this balance where you got to play the covers to make some money while you're doing your project.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were playing around town, cover band, and we're doing all the funky stuff. You said Earth, Wind, Stevie Wonder, Prince. We covered Dr. Dre, DJ Quick. We were doing all we kept it pretty really funky. We were just trying to keep it cool. And eventually, Anderson would be like, hey man, I got these songs that I wrote. We should try like put these in there. And they're like, yeah, let's do it, man. So we, sneak in a little original in the middle of these sets, and then maybe me and him might have written something, and we go, hey, let's just see if this goes, and people would revive into our shit, in the middle, and wondering what the hell that was, and we just let them know like, hey, we wrote that, like that's like our stuff, and eventually it gets to a point where a cover was just like an extra thing we did. Everything was original, and we, was one or two covers, instead of the other way around. So
Right.
yeah, it was a process, but we got there.
And
Yeah.
who finds you? Does somebody see you and decide to sign you? How does this happen?
Well, yeah. So we played in LA for many years. In the trenches, playing wherever we could. Whoever would pay us some, drink tickets and some food. You know how the gigging circuit is being a comedian. You know that it's a similar type of vibe.
Yep.
And yeah, you work your way up, and eventually Anderson got noticed by. Well, we dropped Malibu.
Oh
That
yeah,
was a big one.
great.
Venice, Malibu. That was kind of around the point where things started to kind of we were getting some buzz. Um, and then I think Ape Anderson tells the story that he did a song with No Worries called Suede, and I think Dr. Dre was really interested in that. Called him in for a meeting, and they met up, and things kind of went off from there. He tells the story better, but it's really just the music gets in the right hands of somebody that really wants to make a move and bring on an artist. And as soon as Dre got involved and things started to pick up, it was like a trickle down effect. It helped the Free Nationals. It helped us. We're hitting the road. We're playing all over the world, touring everywhere, and just building, slowly.
I mean, Dr. Dre is I mean, the guy is absolutely legendary.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
I mean, if he's involved, it's just going to be fire.
Hmm.
I met him a few years ago. He was at one of my shows, and
Nice, nice.
I did a set, and some guy came up to me and goes, "Yeah, somebody'd like to meet you in the parking lot." And I was like, "Oh, all right." And I go out to the parking lot, and here comes Dr. Dre, who I grew up on and
Yeah.
absolutely worship. And I did a movie with Ice Cube. So here I
Uh,
am. This is part of NWA right here. And
yeah.
then of course the Chronic and Snoop Dogg and everything. So to meet him, just mad respect for this guy,
Yeah, man. Yeah,
And
man. Yeah.
especially as like a producer,
Hmm.
unbelievable what this guy has done.
100%. 100%.
So
Really
does he
nice.
sign you guys?
He signed Anderson
Right.
to a record deal. I forget what the Aftermath. Yeah, Aftermath.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
And then around that time, Anderson was kind of like, he's like, you guys have to like, as the Free Nationals, you guys have to do something to kind of like establish yourselves as well. And we got together with our agent and him, and we had a meeting, and they're like, hey, you guys should do a record. And we said, all right, let's do it. And so we cut a record, which is out. It's been out for since 2019, 18,
Yeah.
called Free Nationals. And man, it did really well, man. We got some incredible music. I mean, timeless stuff that I'm sure will be around even past my time here on Earth or whatever, and it's a blessing, man. It came out beautiful, and it really, with that in conjunction with the Tiny Desk that we perform, Free Nationals is now like a name that people know. Like they may not know us individually, because I get people all the time like, oh, listen, I like the Free Nationals, and they're like, wait, what the fuck, you're in it? And it's like it's kind of cool because it's like as though the Panther, our emblem and the name is bigger than us. And I personally, I like that for myself and where I'm at in my life. So the bigger I can make the name and the music, I'm all for that, So it's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
It's insane for me to see this guitar pick because I hike this mountain every day.
Yeah,
And
man. Yeah.
yeah, right before I shot my special, this red tail hawk flew down and just landed next to me while I was on this bench catching some air. And in the same area, I find this pick. And I really believe that it happened for a reason, not in a hippie way, but I really believe in vibes. And I can't even tell you how much I listen to this type of music.
Yeah.
And it's in my soul, man. I've seen all these acts live. I've
Mm.
listened to the records for years. And when I put on your record from 2019 up on the hill up there, I was up there hiking. I go, wow, this is killer, man. And then I listened to the Gangster ASAP Rocky collab with
Yeah.
Anderson Paak. And I was like, oh, no, this is absolutely fire, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's cool. Yeah. It's funny that you speak about that because I hike that. That's one of my favorite trails as well. And, lately I've been trying to be healthier and I haven't drank in about over 90 days and working on boxing and I'm hiking, doing all that stuff. And so yeah, when I saw that video, man, it like it cracked me up first of all because you're funny, bro. You're like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the hell? Like, you're like flabbergasted by this shit, and it's funny because I was too. Like, when I saw it, and but yeah, the reality is that these days, now that I'm in a better place mentally, physically, uh, I've been paying attention to things like this, where I feel as though like the universe kind of presents something and it's up to you to go, should I talk to this person? Should I ignore this person? Should I stay away from this? You know what I mean? And in this situation, I was like, you know what? Let me talk to him, man. Like, he's got a podcast. Let me have a little conversation with him. And then you brought up Ron that you met him a couple days before. So I was like, I think this is supposed to happen. So yeah, I feel like I felt good about doing this and being here. So
Oh my
yeah,
God. Well, I tell you,
I
when I was hiking, first of all, about a week ago, I did a guy's podcast and I was talking about when I was young at concerts. As soon
yeah,
as the lights went on at the end, I'd dive on the floor. I'm like, 15, 16, finding the pick. Back then, a guitar player would maybe throw out two picks. You'd be like, fuck, I got Eddie Van Halen's pick.
yeah,
And I've
yeah,
got a collection of these picks that I've
yeah,
had since I was a kid.
yep.
So I'm hiking. I walked by the pick, and something inside me goes, hey, turn around and look at that real quick because it's a guitar pick. And I was like, hold on. And so I pick it up, and I go, Free Nationals. And then I see your name
Yeah,
and
man.
then I go, oh, this is a thick pick. This guy must play jazz.
Yeah, that's so funny that you say that because I'm not really a jazz guy, man. I love jazz music. I respect it and I study it and I'm trying to get licks but it's my first guitar teacher was a French guy named Jean-Marc Belcati. Jean-Marc Belcati, I know you're around, brother. I love you, man. And he taught me. He was basically like he got me in a room like day one, and he's like, "Let me see your pick." The fuck, Rios? This pick it's too light. Rios, you play hard pick, play jazz. I was like, bro, fuck, man. He's like, you take this one, learn. And I fucking ever since then, bro, I've never used anything but that. And on the studio, I'm starting to compromise because in the studio I need to be a little lighter and a more finesse. But on stage, man, I want to go full balls to the wall and hit it. So I need that. And that's funny you mentioned jazz because it is a pick that most jazz musicians would play. A thicker kind of this one's bigger, but they're usually smaller. But yeah, just to be catch the lines. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I played guitar for years. And as soon as I
yeah,
picked this up, I was like, oh,
yeah,
you can't do any Metallica right hand movements with this one.
yeah,
There's
man.
no,
I was
but
yeah.
you pick this pick up and you're playing something off Miles Davis on the corner.
Yeah, 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 man. Yeah, I should probably get a lighter one too, just so I can go a little faster. But I don't know. I'm so used to it now.
So
Yeah.
you're young, you hear Stevie Ray Vaughan, and you go, all right, I want to learn guitar. Do you tell your parents? Do you get a job? How do you get a guitar? What's your
Yeah,
first guitar?
yeah, yeah. So basically, I was listening. I was in a car with my pops, and he was playing it. That's how I heard it. I didn't know where I was going. I was 15. I was really bad in school. I was fucking up, getting thrown out. I was a lost. I didn't know what to gravitate towards or what to hold on to. And then I heard this, and it really just touched my soul, man. And that night I went into his album collection and I pulled. He had like three or four records of Stevie, I grabbed all of them, took them into my room, and I sat there and I just listened. And it just everything was just called talking to me, man. It was like he was playing this shit for me or something. And the next day, I was like, damn, I want to play guitar. And my pops was like, oh, really? Okay. He's like, look, I got a little shitty acoustic in my closet. Here, fuck around with this and let's see what you can do. Maybe I'll get you something. So I was like, all right. So I sit there, in the living room with my parents, and he showed me a couple of exercises. For some reason, my dad knew how to fucking do a couple of exercises on the guitar and play one song, this Mexican song that he would play. It was like an old school Mexican song, right? And but he showed me these scales, like chromatic. There's no melody or anything. It's just chromatic. Get your fingers used to it. Sat there for hours, man. Just what with my dad watching TV. And eventually he was like, "Oh, okay, I see you. I see you. He's like, let's go grab something. Let's go to Guitar Center. Let's see what we can find. Buy a cheapy little. I think they were like $100 or $200 at the time. The Squire.
Yep.
It looks like a Strat.
Yep.
Close enough. Looks cool. Looks like what Hendrix would play. Bought one of those, and just like that, man. Just every day.
How old were
Listening.
you?
15. I was 15 years old.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It was like a light bulb, man. I tell people all the time, like some people find that things later down. Sometimes they find it early, but for me, it was just literal. I was like, this is what I'm gonna do the rest of my life, man. I don't want to do anything else. Well, this is amazing, man. I couldn't imagine my life without playing guitar or being in music.
Yeah, I'm the
Yeah,
same way with I mean, I played music forever, 25 years, but then when I stepped on stage for comedy, light bulb.
yeah,
I was like, "Oh, this is me," you know?
yeah, 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 man.
Yeah, and you're willing to do anything to be able to do the thing, you know?
Correct, correct.
Yeah. So you start playing, and what are you learning? Are you learning Stevie Ray? And at what
Yeah,
point do you switch into some R&B grooves?
Texas Flood. That's
Yeah,
the first record I really studied. It had Pride and Joy. The song Texas Flood as well. It had some really great music on there, man. And that was my first like just digging into that. And then I met up with one of my homies, Sanchez, Anthony Sanchez. I call him Sanchez. And he was showing me stuff, man. He got me into Tool.
oh,
He got me into Rage Against the Machine. He got me into like Metallica, and I was listening to all that shit, and learning riffs. Listening to Sublime. I'm from San Diego, so we listen to Sublime, and
of course.
and then I started my brother Louis. I love my brother Louis, man. He's this is when I started to transition from blues and rock and shit and into reggae and R&B and hip hop. So my brother Louis he's like, check out Freddie McGregor, check out Don Carlos, Gregory Isaacs. Here's DJ Quick, here's Too Short, Easy E. Um, here's Luther Vandross and Erica Badu and Jill Scott, and I was just like, holy shit, man! And I was like, whoa! It took me some time to really understand and digest, but I was like, I could see how my beginnings in blues. Oh shit! Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I could see how my beginnings in blues were the foundation for all of this shit, man. I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. I started in the right place. I'm like, thank God I found the blues first because I was able to figure all the rest of it out. It was like I had the foundation, and then I went up into all that stuff. Yeah,
It's funny.
I'm gonna I'm
Yeah,
gonna
go
hook
ahead.
up my charger real quick just so we
Yeah,
don't
go
lose
ahead.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. Literally in my hotel room, man. Sorry.
No biggie.
Yeah, I got a show tonight with Anderson Paak, man. It's gonna be great.
Oh yeah, where are you guys at?
We're in Memphis.
I
We're
know, but
playing a
what are you playing?
it's a festival called River Beat or something like that.
Oh yeah, down there in the down
Yeah,
there at that area
yeah,
there in
yeah, yeah,
Memphis where that
yeah,
mall
man.
is and everything, that outdoor
Yeah,
area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
River. I'm right here on Beale Street. Beale Street's right behind me.
Yeah. Of
Home of BB King is not from Memphis, but his career
course.
was cemented here. Legend on he's got his club here. I mean, this place is so rich in music and culture, man. Yeah, it's like I'm so blessed to be here. Yeah,
I think that, like I've seen some of the best of all time. I've had him on the show, Terrence Trent D'Arby. I mean,
oh yeah.
that's fucking unreal.
Dude, my
Uh,
girl just put me onto him. The other day, we sat down and watched the whole fucking show of his, bro, from top to bottom. And I was
of
like, I didn't even know about this guy, man. Like, I just, one of, some things slip through the cracks.
course.
I don't know every goddamn musician that ever lived, but I try, I try my best. But I heard that dude, and I was like, fuck, man, how did I not know about this dude? I was like, what a artist, musician, dancer, singer. He was, yeah, bro, he's sick, really
Oh
cool.
my God. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But when you think about what I think about a lot when I listen to these records, and this is why I like the Free Nationals so much,
Mhm.
is when you listen, it's all about songwriting. At the end of
Right.
the day, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You can play the shit out of an instrument, but if you don't have songs, nobody's ever going to know. And that's all there is to it, because they're not going to be like, this guy's great. There's a lot of great guys out there, but when you get a band together and you listen to the music that is behind the guy singing or the woman singing, particularly stuff like Lauryn Hill's record. When you listen to these guys playing, what they're playing is so incredible that it's almost taken for granted. You
Hmm.
don't even realize there's dudes in the studio, you know, laying down these incredible tracks. Steely Dan, The Roots, anybody, Sade's band, Macy Gray's band, these people that laid down these monumental instrumental tracks. So when I listen to Free Nationals and they have the instrumentals, it's so amazing to hear it because there it is, you know?
Yeah, yeah, no, it took me years and years to be efficient in the studio and learn etiquette and learn, how to play in those situations, it took a long time, man, but yeah, it's something to see, man. Like if you've ever had a chance to be in a session or if anyone's ever watched videos of guys in the studio, man, it's like there's a really beautiful thing that's going on in these rooms, man. And every session is different, every artist is different, but we all got to get to this goal of finishing a song, creating a piece of music, that we can be proud of and put out into the world, and feel good about, man. And it's like what it's the idea of just having a play and it's like it's there, man. You recorded it. It's forever, and it's a beautiful feeling, man. It really is.
Let's talk about your record. You came out in 2019. Where did you guys record it? How long did it take to do? Was it analog? What's going on there?
Well, the Free Nationals record, the first one, our budget wasn't as good as it is for the second one that we're working on. By the way, coming out, I believe in August. That's the plan. If
Amazing.
all goes well.
Awesome.
Second, Free Nationals 2. But the first one, the budget was a little lower, so we had an electric drum set. We had a Roland drum set that the homie Matt was playing on. I did some of the guitars live. Some of it was DI, bass DI. Keys were, obviously analog keys. We're using different types of keyboards because we had some of those available to us. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the brunt of it was done in a week. We were able to knock out a good chunk of that album in a week, and then after that, songs would get added in, and collaborations would happen. Like uh, for instance, like Shibuya. It's a song with Sid from the internet. Like, that was
Yeah.
a friend of mine that I met on the road, when I was on doing festivals, and I had her phone number and I sent her that song and I said, "Hey, I think you would be amazing on this," And she gets it, sends it back to me like months later, and it's a beautiful tune, man. Like, just really organic, natural collaborations is how this thing got all pieced together. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to get the album in front of my face here real quick
Yeah.
because I was I mean, I really like this record. Also, you know, as I heard it, because you know, I have some records out, and they're, you know, I've got like a alt country record. I've sang rock, and I've also sang like soul and R&B. And
Nice.
as I heard it, I was like, oh, I got to do a track with these guys just for like, you know,
Yeah.
like my special has my music out on it at the end.
Yeah.
And I was like, just to have it in the, because just the feeling of it. Okay, on site, I absolutely loved on site.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, Shibuya, amazing.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and then obituaries. I mean,
Yeah.
this record is really, really. It's interesting that you say how it was recorded because it has such a warmth to it,
Yeah.
and it feels like everybody's in the room just laying down these grooves, you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, also on top of everything, you got the rolling drums. He's playing them like that, like you would a drum set, and then programming really good sounding drums. You got the guitars and the basses and everything, keys. Yeah, put all that together, and then run it through tape, to make it sound like these old records.
Right.
I got to give it up to Callum Connor, who really engineered it, produced that record. He was instrumental in making sure that it sounded the way it does. The writing of the songs. Predominantly me and Ron and T Nava, excuse me, T Nava, me, Kelsey, Matt was or Callum as well was writing. We just everyone would present something, an idea, progression, and we build it up into what it is. Now. Yeah.
Yeah. And now you're doing a second record. Where are you guys recording that at?
Oh man, this is the analog you've been wanting, bro. It's the drums are cut live with the microphones. We got guitar amps being mic'd, old school vintage stuff. Basses are, top notch old school Vox basses and Fender, everything, man. All the gear, for all the gearheads, man. It's really beautiful tones, great recording. So this one is being recorded at Crying Panthers Studio in North Hollywood. That's Callum's spot. Um, it's man, it's some of the best work we've ever done, man. This is some really, really good stuff. We got incredible features. Uh, don't want to get into too much of that just because it's, I want it to be a surprise for everybody.
Right.
But I mean the lineup on this record is insane, man. From older artists to the newer, fresher people that are killing it right now. You got everything in between. We were able to pull together a lot of resources from each individual artist. For the Free Nats to Anderson, we all have connections with different people that we've met along our journeys, and we were pulling them in and getting them on tracks, to
Oh,
build this record.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that, man.
Yeah, it's something else, man. I'm so proud of it, and I just feel confident it's going to do really well, and you know, it's gonna be good for the people.
Now, I noticed that you were a Fender endorser, it said on your Instagram, but behind you, you had a 335.
Oh, that's
What?
not mine.
Oh,
That's not
oh,
mine. Yeah,
oh, okay.
it's the hotels.
Oh,
Yeah,
they got a guitar in
yeah,
your room.
yeah, yeah,
Hilarious.
man. Yeah, they got yeah. So it's just for me to practice, man. I just put it in the room, but I like no. I mean, 335, man. I gave it up to
Great.
get. I don't have one, but I want to get like an 80s all black 335. That
Yeah.
that that'd be ideal for me.
I love the
Whatever
335. It kind of does everything.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever Spanky Alfred was playing, I want that. I want that guitar. That one he always has. Yeah.
So, are you Stratocaster, and then what's your amp of choice? Because you're playing kind of soul R&B, you know, style.
Yeah, Fender Stratocaster is my go-to right now. I have the HSS, which just has the humbucker at the bottom.
Right.
I need that on my Strats, man. I just want a little bit more push. Yeah, man, I've been endorsed by Fender for shit, man. It's been almost 10 years. I mean, they're fucking incredible out there over there. Shout out to Schulze, Michael Schulze. Scholes, we call him Scholesy, but uh, he's been taking care of me for years now. The homie Tim, he was the first person to introduce. He doesn't work there anymore, but Tim, he first got me involved with Fender. Um, but yeah, man, they hold me down whenever I need instruments. They hook it up, man. But I've been using the same Strat since the first one they gave me. I got this player professional series Strat in 2014 or 15. The first time we played Coachella.
Wow.
And yeah, yeah. And man, this Strat is unmatched, man. It's bro, it's the one. I can't even imagine playing a show without it.
Oh
You
my
know?
God. I'd love to hear that because it is there's either two ways. You got like a Jimmy Page who goes, okay, I got this 59 from Joe Walsh, and this is it. Or you get the guys that are constantly chasing it their whole career. I got 44
Yeah.
guitars, but to have the one that is the one is
Yeah.
a dream because then you can kind of just concentrate on other shit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, no, it's like the one. Yeah, the one. She's the one. And then like I have no, trust me, I have a bunch of guitars. I got a PRS Custom 24. I have a Music Man, Carmela, I think it's called Carmelo or something like that. Uh, that one's amazing. I have a Telly, a custom shop Telly that they made for me.
Great.
Um, and what else do I have? I got one of their newer Strats too. They just sent it over. Yeah, man, I got a few options, but I don't. I go with that Strat, man. That's how I like to go. I
And
like
is
to
it
start.
is it regular tremolo or is there Floyd Rose or hardtail? What is it?
I always well with that strap specifically I do the Nile Rodgers setup. So all the springs flat.
Oh yeah.
There's no give on it.
Torque
So
down.
it's just straight so I can just dig in and funk.
Yeah.
Um yeah man, I use 11s and just I threw a orange amplifier, 412 MK3 head. It's a big ass fucking stack. Just go for it, man. Like, and if I play smaller venues, like for instance, we're gonna do Ronnie Scott's in London in a couple weeks. I'm gonna just use a Fender Twin because I don't want to blow everyone's fucking head off in a little club like that.
Yeah.
So I'm that's just disrespectful. But yeah, I think but for this festival, man, I'm about to play outside, right on the river. I'm going. Yeah, we're going stack, man. We're going with the whole thing. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
so funny how the amps have changed over the years to like, can you turn down? Can you turn down to like an 8-watt Class A amp is almost louder than a 40 or 50-watt old school amp.
No, they're getting rid of the amps, man. They're now guys are using these you know, I forget the names of them, but
Modulars.
the digital things like I don't know what the fuck, man. I'm good on that. I've had people try to convince me, but I'm cool, man. I enjoy my sound and I respect, the old school cats. I mean, obviously I want to do what you got to do, but I just appreciate that, the sound, the old school. Because I toured with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, man, and I got to see John Frusciante's rig, and Frusciante, fuck, man, he's got the Marshall cabs, he's got Fender, old school Fender Strats and Gibsons, and hollow bodies, and all his pedals are analog, vintage pedals, and you can hear the buzz on his guitar too. You just
Yeah.
when the song stop, like that motherfucker's alive, man. And the tone is just unmatched, bro. You can't get that shit from I don't think you can. People will argue you can, but it doesn't feel like it's alive to me. And I'm already using in-ears. I'm fucking have to use ear monitors on stage.
Right.
So if I have to have some kind of compromise.
Frusciante's got one of my guitars. I tried to get it back. He said no.
Oh, oh shit.
The tobacco tele custom. It's got like the F and like wood burned into the pick guard.
I might have seen that, man. He might have had it in Europe when we
Of
were out there.
course. How was that
Yeah.
Chili Peppers tour? That's pretty amazing. They brought you guys out.
Yeah, so Flea, I guess hit up the bass player of our band, Kelsey, is cool with Flea. I guess they talk and they've hung out and stuff. And um, yeah, he hit him up. He was like, "Well, I'm trying to get you guys on, and I want you guys to come tour and open for us." And so they reached out to Anderson's people, and they said, "Hey, we want Anderson in the Free Nationals, man. What's up?" And we were like, "Come on, man." Chili Peppers, I mean, shit. I didn't even mention them earlier, but they're a big influence on me too, obviously. And but yeah, they brought us along for a Europe tour. We did about a month, I think, out there. We had some dates, and I mean, it was a learning experience, man. I got to see some OG legends go at it every night, and we were direct openers for them. So it was us, then the Chili Peppers, man. Like night after night, it was like I got a schooling, man. I went to school, so
Yeah, when you tour with a headliner who's been doing it over 30 years, the amount
yeah,
of knowledge you get from that group, everything, you learn everything, etiquette, how to treat people on the tour, how to keep yourself from burning out, how to operate in a giant arena.
yeah,
I
man.
always call it like invisible fans. You're like, I see you out there,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
it's a whole different animal. And to be able to have that opportunity, and also for the Chili Peppers to go, hey, man, this is who we want. We don't
yeah,
want somebody that you're going to force onto us as the opener that's going to buy onto the tour or whatever that bullshit is.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
like, we want a vibe for our audience and we want to turn our audience on to the next thing that we think is cool. And the security in their bones to be able to do that and not be insecure of like, I don't know, man, is beautiful, man. It's
yeah, yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, man. Those guys are incredible, man.
Oh,
Flea's a really good. Chad is. I got to really talk to Chad the most, and dude, he's just a regular cat, bro. He's not even he's not tripping, bro. He's there. I play drums, man. Whatever.
yeah.
you know, it's like there's no ego, man. It's like, yeah, this is what I do, man. We have a good time and we do it. That's it. It's very simple. He keeps it simple. I love that about that dude. I think that's probably why I connected with him the most because I don't know. Some people take themselves too seriously, man, and you start to really believe the hype. You start to think that you're bigger than all of this, which is all of us.
Yeah.
And when the day that happens, I think you lost connection with whatever it is that you believe in. The higher power, God, or whatever you want to call it. You're disconnected, man. And so people like Chad who understand the gravity of the situation, obviously, they know they're in this situation, but they also don't take themselves too seriously, man. And they go and they rock out, they have a good time, and they put on a great show for the people, man. And those are the kind of cats I respect, man. And that's the kind of cat I'm trying to be, and I hope people see me that way. Yeah.
Chad is just so cool. I did a
Yeah.
show recently at the Comedy Store. I put
Yeah.
together a charity event for Steven Tyler, and Chad
Nice.
came and he was backstage, and it, I maybe met the guy once in 10 years, and he's like, hey, what's up, Dean? And I'm like, oh, that's fucking Chad Smith right there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
more like into like being, cool with the comics there, and he's into the comedy and everything. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy's a solid dude, man.
Yeah. Just have a cig with you in the back, smoking out there, have a little chit chat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw some of
Yeah.
the footage of you guys playing those shows, and it was amazing, man.
Yeah, they were monstrous shows, man. At least 90 to 100,000 people in stadiums, man. It was, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so great. Yeah. I saw they threw a cake in your face on one of the shows for your birthday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's Anderson's MO, man. He loves
Yeah.
to, he's good for a little cake in the face for sure. Yeah.
Now, did you ever get into Steve Cropper at all? I mean, that guy is the king of
Uh-huh.
just the light, the nuances of a groove.
I have to, if you have a recommendation, I definitely would like to check that out. Steve, did he play in another group or was he just a solo act?
Oh no, no, he played in the group and Booker T and the MGs.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yes,
yeah,
I know Booker T and the NGs. Okay.
yeah.
I just didn't, I didn't,
Oh, I get it. I get it.
I didn't
It's
know
like,
him individually, but yes,
yeah.
Booker T and the MGs. Yeah, 100%.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, that guy is,
yeah,
it's just a like a 56 telly and an amp
mhm,
and his right hand just chicken up,
yeah,
chicken up,
yeah,
chicken up. It takes a certain type of person, a guitar player, to be able to play minimal.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
not going chicken and chicken and
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
And
for
to
sure.
hear people to be able to do that, man, I really loved your playing on that record,
Uh-huh.
and I'm looking forward to hearing the new record. What's the amps you're using? Oh, Orange 100 watt, right?
Not for the cutting the record, but that's live. That's my live
Right,
rig.
right. But Orange
Yeah,
100 watt, oh man,
yeah, MK, yeah, MK3, yeah. It's a
fucking
fuck.
crazy.
It's powerful, man. It is, and I don't even turn it up past like three or four, past four.
Yeah.
It's not even halfway, man. Yeah,
Now
yeah,
you got invited to do the fire benefits. Bill and I and Shane Gillis and Santino did a huge fire benefit at the Will Turn. I
yeah,
wanted to go see that one, but I was involved in these fire benefits immediately. I wanted to be part of it.
yeah.
And did you do the forum or the into it?
Did the forum.
Oh my God, it's magic, right?
Yeah, the forum was the that was man. We were surrounded by legends, man. It was so beautiful to see everyone come together. My daughter was with me. Her mom came. It was something else, man. My daughter's like really into the Green Day.
Oh yeah.
She's only 14, bro, but she loves Green Day, and that's who I listen, when I was a kid. So it's cool. And she was in tears, bro, seeing it. She couldn't believe she was watching them, live and in person. And then I introduced her to all of them. I went back there and they were, Trey, the drummer, was so cool to her, man. Gave her like a pick. He's like, "Here, this is Billy's pick. Here, you want to take a picture?" She's like, "Yeah." And dude, just gentlemen, man, class acts. Like those guys are top notch.
Oh,
But yeah, there was so many cats back there, man. It was a lot to, I was just every minute I was like, "Oh shit, is that?" And but we're coming together for a great cause, and really unfortunate what happened, and it was really a very very difficult, sad time for the whole city, man. I think everybody felt the pain, and I know they're still recovering. Things are homes are still having to be rebuilt, and
it's going to be
it's just
years.
yeah, it's gonna take a long time, man. And it was really a tragic way to start the year. It was yeah, I was really worried about this year. It's starting to kind of level out a little bit. Things are starting to kind of, I'm like, all right, I think there's some hope, and I feel like I think we'll bring a lot of healing with this album, man. I feel confident it'll do well for a lot of people, and people that are going through, I don't, there's financial things going on. There's things going on in our government. There's all this shit, and I think the music is my way and our way as a group of giving back and doing something good. In a very difficult time. So yeah, man, it was cool to be a part of that for sure.
Was John Mayer on the one you were on?
I Was John up there? I think John might have been at the other one. But
Right.
the thing was they were casting it in a way where whoever was playing at the other one, they showed it in the arena that we were in,
Oh wow.
and it was dude, it sounded like they were there, but you just watch it on the screen, and then the next band would come around the little revolving stage and start, and one after another, just bam,
Right.
bam, bam. It was a
Did you
really cool event, man.
did
Really
you go
cool.
to the forum as a to concerts? Because I did, and then I ended up doing the forum. And when you're standing on that stage, you just immediately think back to like I'm just thinking back to like the Lakers of the old
Yeah,
day Lakers, and yeah, I think back to like Chris Cornell and Temple of the Dog and System of the Down. These shows that just blew my mind. And then I'm standing there.
yeah.
Did you see some acts there, younger?
Well, I'm originally from San Diego, but I
Gotcha.
I moved to Los Angeles. It's been 18 years. So
Wow.
so LA feels like my home. But yes, I have seen shows there, but as a young adult. Yeah, man. I mean, to go back, and I played the Forum a couple times before already on our own, and then one other time for some other thing we did. I forget what it was. But yeah, man, no, you can feel the energy, man. Yeah, I'm very strong with that shit. Like when it comes to like going to playing venues that I know legends have graced these stages, I feel that energy. I feel that presence. I feel it, man. And I use it to fuel what I'm doing, man, and to really try to honor it, and give it just give a good show. So
Yeah,
yeah, no, 100%, man. I feel it. It's strong, man. It's in there. There's a
it
spirit,
is.
Yeah,
It's in those
yeah,
rafters, man. I step in
yeah.
there and I just feel Led Zeppelin 77, 100%. They play 7 nights
Hmm.
and it's unreal. There's a
Yeah,
famous bootleg from that called Listen to This, Eddie. And,
yeah,
and just that room, man. And the backstage is great. And that Forum Club and everything's great except getting there.
yeah.
That
It's a
goddamn
bitch.
traffic.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man.
Well, listen, it was great talking to you, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in person. If you ever wanted to come to the Comedy Store and see me do some comedy, just hit me up. You have my phone number, and if you're in my
Yeah,
neighborhood, let's go hiking where I found the pick
yeah, yeah.
and talk some more music and get some food or whatever. I
I'm
really
down.
appreciate you coming on the show today.
Yeah, no problem, man. I mean, the story, like I said, was so like it to me. It made sense. I was like, I think I should do this, man. It's something in my heart said to do it, and these days I'm going with what my heart tells me, man, and not what the bottle. The bottle used to tell me to do a lot of shit, or
Yeah.
maybe it was just me, but with influence of the bottle. But yeah, man. For sure, definitely, 100%. Thanks for having me, man.
Yep. Tell everybody where you can find you. What's your Instagram? Everything like that.
Okay. You can find me. You can find me walking around LA randomly. No, no. I'm at Jose M Rios, at Free Nationals. Uh, yeah, man. I'm on YouTube, all that shit, man. We're out there. Free Nationals, Anderson Paak. You'll find us, man. We'll come into a city near you. Promise.
I really love the music, man. I really
Thank you,
do.
man.
Thank you so much for doing the show, and
Much
I will
respect.
see you soon. Thank you once again, everybody, for tuning in. Follow him. Listen to the music on iTunes or YouTube. Go look at them playing live all over, man. They're playing massive places, and it is just a crushing kick-ass vibe. So thanks for doing the show, man.
Yeah, buddy.
I'll see ya.
Cool.